Hello, everybody. Welcome along. It is predictions time for round 29 in the Championship. We are, as ever, sponsored by Match Bingo for this, and we'll have a little bit about that midway through the show. Sam Parkin, we're not complete on the last set of predictions, which involves a couple of rearranged games. So no scores on the doors this week.
No scores on the doors. However, I will mention that I was speaking to Charlotte, who was working for TalkSport on Saturday at the Den, and she'd listened to our predictions from last week, and she said, your 1-1 for Millwall Preston, played the 1-1 joker, is looking pretty good. That's what she said at half-time. So I'll be looking forward to those 3 points.
In the words of the great Larry David, pretty good. Yeah, I think Parkin might be getting the win this week.
Got to play that 1-1 sensibly, mate. You got to play that 1-1.
I know. Right, let's get into this then. We're starting on Friday night. Do you want to go first or second, Sam?
I'll go first, mate. I'll kick off.
Kick us off then. Bristol City versus Leeds United.
Yeah, I don't know if I said it last time out because I don't know when we recorded, but I was really impressed with Bristol City actually against West Ham. Thought they played some really good stuff. I could see absolutely what they're trying to do. Just maybe lack a little bit of polish in the final third. But absolutely, I can see the progress, saw the progress. However, no margin for error in this race for the automatic positions. I think Leeds will respond. I think it'll be tight. I think both teams will score. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Leeds United.
I'm a bit conflicted on this one. So Bristol City have got an FA Cup replay, but so have Leeds. But then you think Leeds are going to rest some players up against Plymouth. It is the Friday night, and I just wonder whether the travel might affect Leeds and the schedule. So I'm going to add an extra goal on for Bristol City, Sam, to your prediction. And I'm going to throw in a Desmond, and I'm going to go Bristol City 2, Leeds 2 for an entertaining start to the week for the TV game. I'm going to move us on to the Roy Wegley derby. It is Blackburn Rovers versus QPR. And Sam, you've just buried QPR's performance at home against Huddersfield. I know Blackburn have not been in good form, but I've just got those words ringing in my ears. So I'm going to back Blackburn in this one based on, unless you're playing some 4D chess mind games with me to ruin my predictions. So I'm going to go Blackburn 2, QPR 0, Sam. What say you?
Well, QPR have signed a new striker, so all my eggs are firmly going in his basket. If you've got his name in front of you, I would love to hear it because I haven't, but he scored a load of goals for Royal Antwerp and then didn't score any goals for Schalke. I'm not sure if it was the Schalke or if whether they have a another side, maybe in the Bundesliga 2 or something. However, he'll score because they need it. But Blackburn will score as well.
Is Michael, it's spelled Frey, but it's probably Fry if he's from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Royal Antwerp.
Yeah, and scored loads of goals there. If what I looked at earlier was correct. I think this is where I'm going to play my 1-1, mate. I think QPR may get something. 1 each. Blackburn never draw though, did they? Oh, that's schoolboy, but I'll have the 1-1.
It's got to change sometime, hasn't it? Sam, this was our mouth-watering matchup, and your first up is Huddersfield versus Sheffield Wednesday, and Huddersfield may or may not have a new manager.
What did you have for Blackburn QPR, mate? Sorry?
2-0 Rovers.
I think nothing's going to change in my kind of thought process towards this game, irrelevant of who's going to be the manager. I think it's going to be 0-0 or 1-0 either way, and for that reason... And for some recent victories on the road, I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday to win away 1-0.
I was going to say the same thing.
I think have the 1-0 Huddersfield then.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout, actually. I actually fancy Wednesday because of the local derby-ness of it and the, potential chaos at Huddersfield with the sacking. But you've taken the real sensible scoreline. A Wednesday scoring twice? I'm going to have to do it because I'm not doubling you up. 2-1. Huddersfield 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. We've both backed The Sheffield Wednesday away win. I'm going to move us on to, it's me first, isn't it, as well? Hull versus Millwall. Sam, you saw Millwall as well. Can you just tell me what you thought of Millwall quickly against Preston? Just to help me out.
It's quite a long answer. It was a bizarre game. Millwall were brilliant for 20 minutes and then didn't touch the ball for 20 minutes. It was insane. Like, it was the most contrasting first half I've seen this season. Preston were like Brazil for 20 minutes and like dog and duck for still the other 70 minutes. It was bizarre. They just played for 20 minutes, Preston. But Millwall, blood and thunder, first 15, could have been streets ahead. And then do you know what did impress me? The second half, they recovered after Preston had that good spell. Millwall were pretty in control second half, bit more possession, some good football, not loads of chances, but actually a bit similar to what I said about Bristol City a few moments ago. I walked away from the Den thinking, actually, I've seen a bit of progress there. And with a couple of windows, hopefully Joe Edwards could get it right. There you go.
Thank you. Hull won last time out, didn't they? And Hull had the weekend off, didn't they? They were out of the cup. I'm going to back Hull, Sam. That's not me disregarding what you just said about Millwall, by the way. I've taken it on board. But let's go both teams to score, shall we? Hull 3, Millwall 1, Sam.
Okay, yeah. Given what I said and the fact that Michael Obafemi should be good to go.
Oh, yeah.
I think Millwall could get something here. And I think there's been some good performances from Hull recently as well. Maybe not got the points return that they should have warranted from the performance levels. And I think there's a bit of an inconsistency at home. I think that's something I've said previously. I'm going to go for the 2-2.
Desmond? You used to watch Desmond's on Channel 4 back in the...
Probably there's one of those shows I could probably give you about 5 or 6 out of this bracket that seemed quite trendy to say at school that you watched it.
But
I probably watched one episode. Yeah, it's like Mary Whitehouse Experience. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was very like trendy to watch that, and I think I probably
went along for a high school kid. Yeah,
probably went along with that, and Desmond's being like on my radar, and I probably listened to the theme tune which was magnificent actually.
Yeah, it was magnificent, wasn't it? Is Norwich Coventry going to be magnificent, Sam?
Well, like in 1994, this would have been tremendous, wouldn't it? In the in the early days of the Premier League. So that's how I still live. It's a difficult game to predict this,
isn't it?
But
Johnny Rose broken his hand, right?
Has he? I didn't know.
Yeah.
That.
You play with a broken hand in a cast?
No, but I'd always kind of wanted to emulate Gary Lineker from 1986. I just thought it was quite a nice look. So if I ever did have any kind of discomfort, I would put some kind of strapping on it. Just
some performative strapping, yeah?
Yeah, just so I could channel my Lineker against Poland. I think this is real difficult. I think, Norwich have obviously had back-to-back wins, I think, in the league. Coventry have been on a brilliant run. I just think Norwich have got their players back. I think they're strong now. Irrelevant of the football, still probably dividing opinion. I'll go for them to win by the odd goal, 2-1.
Sam, wise man say, can't remember who said this, but you've got to be careful and choose your 1-1 carefully. So I'm going to play my 1-1.
Doesn't feel like a 1-1 to me. That doesn't smell of a 1-1 to me.
Oh, we'll see.
Smells of a late rally from one of them.
What does Preston smell like? Preston versus Ipswich, and I'm up first. I'm blooming Ipswich. Are Ipswich going to bounce back with an away win at Preston? I think they might draw, Sam. I've got no idea. And I can't play 2 1-1s in a row. 0-0. Preston 0, Ipswich 0, Sam. Which wouldn't please me, but hey, that's not the point of this exercise. What say you?
I think there's very little method to this madness, given what I already said about Preston. I'm just not sure they've got it in them to really play with a handbrake off. I don't know if that's because, in terms of the back three, they haven't really got a ball playing centre half who can play forward. You've got Whiteman, who's a nice player. I don't know. I don't know if it's the instruction there was a period where Potts was probably the most dangerous looking player, certainly in the Preston team at the weekend at Millwall. The lad whose name I always forget on the left-hand side, the Canadian boy who was at Liverpool. Liam Miller was really good for a spell as well. And then they just retreated in the second half. I don't know why I'm giving you another critique of that Millwall game, but it just baffles me. Baffles me when I can see them play for 20 minutes as I did, stroking it around. Whiteman looking like the best kind of midfield anchor in the division. Anyway, no method to this at all. I just think they badly need a win. They badly need a win. 1-0, Preston North End.
Oh, I hate it, Sam.
Sorry, mate.
Something I don't hate, though, is Match Bingo, because they very kindly sponsor
Nicely done.
Our shows. See if you can do nicely done. So, Sam, left arm, just do that with it, yeah? Do that with your left arm. There you go. Just point. There you go. Directly above your head. Sam, there is your glowing endorsement. Now, I've got some good news with the Premier League games, Sam. They've got them all struggle with the light. But you can play Aston Villa Newcastle for free over on Match Bingo. I'm literally going to get my card right now as we watch with our beautiful lighting issues there. Confirmed purchase, absolutely blooming free. 175 quid prize pot. Now, on Wednesday night, Sam, in the Premier League, Liverpool-Chelsea, they've gone for the big up. It's the £1,000 prize pot again, which our man Paul, if you remember, won on the East Anglian derby. So do go and get involved, and you can play for free Aston Villa versus Newcastle this midweek, and Liverpool-Chelsea or Chelsea-Liverpool, whichever way around that is.
Anfield. And mate, hopefully you got 0-0 and 0 shots on your Match Bingo card for that one. I think it's been 0-0 the last 16 games or something, isn't it?
There you go. If you want, there's your QR code. Let us know, or let them know, that we sent you Match Bingo. And Sam, we say it every week. Please play responsibly. It's supposed to be fun. Sam, is Rotherham versus Southampton going to be fun for Rotherham?
No, in a word. Although they had, a couple of good results, didn't they, at home against Sunderland and Middlesbrough back-to-back, where they
weekend off.
Took points off both. So they got a chance. And, we kind of know that it's going to have to come at home. Is it still Sheffield United away, their last away victory? I mean, that's my favourite stat of eternity.
And not one away this season. Keep talking, I'll find out.
Don't think they have. Something saying to me they got a point at Southampton, didn't they, in the reverse game? Anyway, I think Southampton would be too strong, too rested. I'm going for a convincing 3-1 away win.
Yes. We've been back in Southampton all the while and it's been working. So I'm not going to break the habit of a lifetime. Might be a bit more of a muscle memory win than the spectacular one you're talking about. So I'll just go for a clean sheet and a 1-0, a Rotherham 0, Southampton 1. And I'm going to move on to Stoke versus Leicester City. Is anything going to have changed? Obviously, on the check-in podcast, we talked about the potential that a boatload of cash might shift Keane and Dewsbury Hall, but I don't think it will. And I think they're going to go there and win, aren't they? Stoke 1. Let's have some fun with this one. I want my bonus point, Sam. Stoke 1, Leicester 4. Can I have a bonus point for that?
You can have a bonus point.
Thank you.
And you can stay focused on the screen here, because I'd like to see your reaction when I say Stoke 0, Leicester City 0.
Oh,
my prediction.
Is that for a bonus point?
And how many times have Leicester not scored this season? There's a question. Away at
They didn't score
Middlesbrough
against Hull and against Leeds at
and
home.
away at
It's probably just
Middlesbrough,
those three. Probably just the defeats, isn't it?
So it can happen, and I just think Stoke are capable of defending their goal pretty well, and they don't really have the answers going the other way. I think I heard that just the bottom three have scored fewer goals, so that's clearly a problem.
They're making and missing chances as well, Stoke, as well. It's not like they're not making the chances. So, yeah, they are a bit blunt, aren't they?
I think it's a problem that Steven Schumacher is clearly inherited, and it's probably going to be the issue at the moment that he's going to have to try and problem solve. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 there.
I did not expect. I thought you were going to go for like a Stoke win or something. Swansea versus Plymouth. This is an interesting one. Could Plymouth break the away duck finally?
Well, I want my bonus point. I think I have backed Argyle to win away from home a few times, haven't I? But I'm not going to back Argyle here. However, I'm going to back a plethora of goals and Swansea to bounce back from that humbling at Bournemouth. I think there's goals, and I think Swansea are going to win by 3-2. Bonus point, please.
Yeah, you take. Can you note that down? That's your bonus.
I got it. Yeah.
I will give you that for sure. It would be, look, when Plymouth win away, I want one of us to have predicted it. So I almost need to set a rule here that every time they're away, someone's got to go for a Plymouth win. So I'll do it today, but I'm feeling your goalie, both teams to score thing. So I better go 2-1. Swansea 1, Plymouth 2. Weren't Swansea 5-0 down at half-time to Bournemouth the other day as well? They are leaky. And by the way, we're recording this before there's some games on Wednesday and Swansea go to Leicester. So we don't know that result. We're doing this prior to that. And I need to move us on to Watford versus Cardiff. I'm not feeling Cardiff at the moment, Sam. They were our cause for concern last week or 2 Championship check-in podcasts ago. So I'm going to back Watford and I'm going to back Cardiff not to score. Watford 2, Cardiff 0, Sam.
Yeah, it's the same scoreline I had down, mate. It feels like some of these teams haven't played for like months, and Cardiff would be in that category. Sitting here and doing this today, yeah, we don't really know what the outcome of those words from the manager have been, if any. I can't think of a load of players that have come stumbling through the door in Wales, so I'd have to agree with you. Watford's still going along okay. Obviously, Southampton equalised late doors, didn't they, the other day? I'll go for the same, and I don't think I've got one yet. Yeah, I have, Preston. I'll go for 1-0 as well. 1-0 Watford.
And you're up immediately. West Brom versus Birmingham.
Yeah, fancy West Brom to bounce back here. Another good atmosphere. I suppose there's going to be...
By the way, Sam, sorry to interrupt. Outside of that crowd trouble, West Brom were the better side for the first 35 minutes of that game.
I've actually been to one of those games, yeah. And so I was aware that the problems could have occurred. So, yeah, we've already spoken about that on the main podcast. I won't go down that route again. But another massive crowd, I would suggest, and a pretty important one for West Brom to keep on the tails of the ones above. And I think they'll be too strong for Birmingham. I think Birmingham have improved, will improve. I'm going to go for 3-1 to the Baggies.
Do you think Birmingham can play counter-attack with the players they've got? Because if Tony Mowbray was doing this with some of those Sunderland players, you could imagine them kind of picking off. Although West Brom do sit back, I think I'm convinced to your way of thinking, to be honest. I think I'll back West Brom. Let's go for Birmingham. I think West Brom will score twice and then Birmingham will score. So I'll go 2-1. What did you go for, Sam?
3-1 to West Brom.
Yeah, that works for me. Right, which takes us to our last one, which is the Sunday game. Oh, God, don't they get really antsy if you call this a derby? The fans get all funny about this, Middlesbrough, Sunderland. It's not a derby. It's not a derby. The derby's whatever, Newcastle, Sunderland. So I won't do that, even though I kind of just hinted at it. What's this? Middlesbrough getting loads of bids for Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. They might have a nice payday before the end of the window. I think I might go scoring draw in this. Should we go for some fun? Being these managers are both potentially quite attacking. This is not for my bonus point because I've already played that with Stoke 1, Leicester 4. Middlesbrough 3, Sunderland 3. What do you reckon, Sam?
I don't know exactly what kind of state Middlesbrough are in as we sit here, because obviously they didn't have a game, and the last time I saw them was kind of trudging off the pitch at Stamford Bridge. So I don't know where they are in terms of injuries, but I just felt on that kind of evening that the lack of pace, the lack of options in attack really hindered them. And yeah, they conceded some horrendous goals from trying to play out, which was really problematic. But not having the pace of Jones, not having the option to hit latte lat, I thought was equally as important to their demise at Chelsea. So if that's the case this weekend, if they're still a little bit patched up, I quite fancy Sunderland in this one. A lot being spoken about. Obviously, a colossal victory for Mick Beale last time out. A goal from a striker, Mason Burstow. I think it'll be tight. I think both teams will score. I'll go for Sunderland to win the non-derby 2-1 at the Riverside.
Excellent stuff. Get involved as ever down there in the comments. Don't take it too seriously. It's just a bit of fun. And if either myself or Sam have dared not to predict your team to win or even predicted them to lose, don't take it personally. Doesn't mean we don't like them. We're just trying to predict the scores. And we think you should do the same down there in the comments. And about to appear, sort of in front of Sam's face, basically, is a lovely link back. I'm doing it now. There you go, with that arm. To this week's Championship Check-In podcast, which you can check out on YouTube and on audio.